this is a how to play guitar like for straight up fresh beginners who never even touched a guitar before. But yeah, we're just learn your chords, just chords, basic chords. That's all you gotta learn starting out. Don't worry about anything else. And first off, I'm gonna show you what the tuning sounds like, and then we're gonna zoom in on my hand to show you where your fingers go. Just basic chords, and they have names, the names of letters. If you know the alphabet, you'll get the names. But yeah, all right. I'm gonna show you the tuning, what it sounds like, starting from this string all the way down to this string. Alright, that right there is just the basic standard regular tuning for the guitar. I'm usually most of the time in this tuning. I rarely use any other kind of tunings, so don't worry about it. Alright, now we're going to go zoom in on my hand in the next clip and show you where the fingers form the chords. I forgot to say how to hold the guitar. Yeah, you can hold it like how I'm doing it. That's how most people do it, pretty much almost everybody. Well, there's another way. It's called the classical position. You just put it on your left lap like this, and the neck is pointing upwards. At first, doing it for the first time, it feels awkward, yes. It's pointing upwards. I think it makes it a little bit easier to do the stuff with your left hand instead of being more perpendicular to your body. But yeah. There's two ways how to hold it. I do both about the same as much as each other. I do it a lot on that. I do it a lot on here. But yeah. And you see how high your strings are above it? It's called a fretboard, where your fingers go. You see how high your strings are? That's called action. The lower they are, the easier it is to play. And if you have the money, you could take it to a professional technician who just tell him you want a intonation or a setup. But yeah, and he'll set up your guitar. There's parts of the guitar that take into account of how high your strings will be. It's called intonation, and I know I still find it complicated. It involves some math and shit, and I'm horrible at math. So just tell the guy, the technician, you want a setup. I advise against going to Guitar Center to get it done. I hear they scam people. They'll do a shitty job on your guitar, and you lose money. So yeah, I've heard a lot of bad things about Guitar Center when you're taking your guitar there for a setup. But yeah. The lower your strings are, it'll be easier for you to play. And also they come in different sizes. That's called gauges. The lightest gauge, the lightest strings that I know of that they sell at the store are 8 gauge. I don't know if they go lower than that. But yeah. they're the softest. It'll be easier on your hands and shit. But yeah. All right, now we got a close-up view. So the chords, really, the notes in music are like the alphabet. They go in order. You know the alphabet, except it ends at G. So we'll just do an A chord, and I'll show you the fingers and all that, and we'll go A, B, C, D, all the way to G. Just those basic chords. Don't worry about anything else. And I'm going to mirror the clip for the left-handed. If you're left-handed, there'll be a mirrored version for left-handed. All right. And first off, how to hold the neck. You could wrap your thumb around it like this, or on the back of the neck, like pressing against it. I think you'll have a stronger grip more support if you use your thumb on the neck, but I find myself doing this too a lot. I use both, honestly. Well, yeah, all right. First off is A chord. I have big fingers, so I could just put one finger on it like that. Let me put down the mic. Yeah, or if you have tiny fingers, you put 3 little fingers on it, or 2 fingers. But I have big fingers. I'm going to show you what it sounds like, too. For your other hand holding the pick, you just drag the pick across the strings. Don't worry about anything complicated. Just you're learning chords, and you just strumming chords. It's easy. Just drag your right hand down, and you'll get that sound. But yeah, the fingering for the A chord. This right here, here, and here. Yeah, I use one finger because I have big hands. And just hold this down and drag the pick downwards across all the strings. The fingering for the A chord. This right here, here, and here. Next is the B chord. I'm going to put the mic down and show you what it sounds like. Now is the C chord. I'm going to play it, show you what it sounds like, and then I'm going to show you where your fingers go. I'm going to put the mic down now. Alright, now is the D chord. Same thing as what we did earlier. Alright, I'm going to put the mic down. Alright, this next one is E, and I also use one finger because I have big hands. It's just these two strings right here. Alright, same plan. Here we go. is the F chord. Same thing as I said earlier. I'll play it, then show you where the fingers go. Alright. Alright, finally is the G chord. On this one though, I also, on part of it, I use only one finger, and that's where you could use two fingers, your ring finger and your pinky if you got small fingers, but I have big fingers. So yeah, same plan, and I play it, and then I show you where your fingers go. Also, don't worry about hitting other strings that you are not pushing down. That's what makes the chord. The strings that aren't pushed down are called open, and they themselves are also notes. So yeah, they count as part of the chord. So don't worry if you just hit all the strings on the way down with your pick, and all the way, and vice versa, the reverse all the way back up, and combine the two and you get strumming. But yeah, all right. that's all the basic shapes I showed you. You could use them in any order you desire. Anyway, just come up with something random. Even a big-time guitar player called Yngwie Malmsteen, he said, just play with your ears. If it sounds good, it's good. Play with your ears. He said that himself. I'm going to play something off the top of my head, just random combinations. Your right hand, it's really just moving it up and down and make sure it's touching the strings each time, like this. But yeah, they're all connected, but you'll learn about that somewhere down the road. Don't worry about that now. You just started. But yeah, I'm gonna show you a little bit gadgets, I guess you could call it, that'll help your hand get stronger. Like, it's a finger exerciser. I just recently purchased resistance bands for my fingers for playing guitar solos faster. But yeah, they come in different resistance, 6 pounds all the way up to 11 pounds. I'm still waiting for it in the mail. But yeah, alright, I got the little gadget thing. It will exercise your hands. It's called a Varigrip. You could buy these at Guitar Center or any other music store, or buy it online. I don't know what they have. They sell what they're called nowadays. I got this back in like 2010. I still have it to this day, but I haven't really used it much because I've gotten more advanced. I was a beginner when I got this. So yeah, you just exercise your fingers or your thumb too, like for that support for your hand when you're putting it on the back of the neck, and other stuff too. And on the other side, when you're away from your guitar, it's supposed to feel like when your fingers are on the strings, to build those calluses and shit. I guess you could do the thumb thing on the other side too. Right here, these dials right here, these little dials, you can adjust the resistance. Well, since I'm not a beginner, I have it all the way up to the heaviest resistance. But yeah, you could put it on the lightest resistance and work your way up, build your way up. And yeah, it's not expensive either. This next one is, you've probably already seen it already. It's on my headstock. It's called a capo. I don't use it much really. I really almost never do. I guess it allows you to play in different tunings. You just clamp it on there and it sounds completely, it changes the tuning of your guitar, but you'll have to start in different spots. It's like, when it's clamped there, those notes become the standard tuning. The notes that are being clamped. I don't know, I never use it, but yeah, it's called a capo. So yeah, that's what it does. You put it anywhere you want on the neck, wherever you want. All right. All right. The next one is this string cutter changer. I don't know the name. I don't remember the name of it. It's by Planet Waves, but I'm sure they sell other brands too in any music store. It can cut when the ends of the strings are sticking out, brand new strings. This can cut them, and it's not very expensive. But I got it years ago. I still have it to this day, and this is where you can unwind the strings a lot faster. I usually only do that when taking off old strings or changing strings. I only change strings when I break a string, because strings were a lot cheaper back when I was a beginner. They cost almost $10 now. So yeah, and this little notch right here, there it is. When on your acoustic, this will get that little nub off. Just push it onto it underneath the knob or whatever, and it'll pop it out, and you'll take or put in a new string for acoustics. But yeah, it'll make changing strings a little bit faster. This next one is fretboard and string cleaner, Lem oil, and obviously there's other brands probably at any music store you could get it. There's a lot of crap builds up on your fretboard and strings. This wax from the oils on your fingers, and this will clean them. Yeah, I don't know how much they cost nowadays. I haven't looked at them. I had these since I was a beginner. I still have them to this day. This is guitar polish and cleaner. It'll just clean your paint job on your guitar, full of fingerprints and probably more of that wax and finger oils. Yeah, it's just basic necessities. Starting out as a beginner, I was 17 back in 2010, around February. But rewind a year before that, it started with my friend took me fishing one day, and then when we got home later that day, he happened to have 2 guitars in his room, and I thought it was pretty cool. He didn't take any lessons either. We had no money for lessons or anything. Fast forward to back to early 2010, he let me borrow one of those, and they were both electric, by the way. So I started on electric. We took whatever we could get our hands on. We had no money for lessons or anything. We just had YouTube. So yeah. It was this old beat up Ibanez that completely was missing both pickups and yet somehow still made noise. But yeah, I practiced with that for a few months until one day my dad brought home a big ass acoustic that was too big, but it was an acoustic, and I played on that too. I didn't know any of the stuff I showed you in this video. I had to learn it all by myself. But yeah, I'm giving you a head start, and there's a lot more better lesson videos once you get that stuff I showed you down ingrained in your head. Now you have a bit of a head start. But yeah, I practiced on that for a little while until I was cutting grass, saving up to get my first true guitar, which was also an electric. It's that black Ibanez you've seen in my other videos. And yeah, I was playing with that. So I didn't know about theory or any of that shit. So I just learned songs. That's it. I just learned songs. I learned all the songs I like. I learned my songs. I look up videos how to play this song or that song. And these songs, it's not a bad strategy either. The songs have stuff in it that you could learn and apply it to your own playing. A bunch of stuff. Just learn songs. When you're starting out, learn songs. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I took lessons for like a year back in 2014. I had to stop because I had work and school. There was no room for that. But yeah, I was just learning about theory and stuff. I still have my notes I took with it to this day. I still struggle with theory though, but yeah. And eventually I was able to buy that Gibson guitar too. That's a separate story for another day. But yeah, I'm not a theory genius. I had to kind of poke my way through the dark for the most part. But yeah, that's pretty much the story of how I started out. And I'm still learning to this day. I've been I stopped playing for 2 years until, because I was depressed. I just didn't play at all. Nothing. I started picking up again, playing again early this year, like around January. And I've been playing non-stop. I even stayed up till like 6 in the morning practicing, just practicing. Practicing too much actually, but yeah, for the last 6 months. But I slowed my pace down recently while I was making these videos. They've been cutting into my practice time, but I got to get back into the practicing after these videos. But yeah, I told you as much as I could. Learn all this, and then branch out into those other lessons. There's millions, probably billions out there on YouTube. But yeah.